All right, mic's up. Studio is live.
All right. Lagos, it's Fun Friday, it's Tech Friday, it's Business Express, it's Smooth 98.1 FM. I am Rotus. I am joined by my ever reliable Fisayo. Fisayo, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Aremo Fisayo on Twitter. Follow this man. Follow this man on Twitter. But follow Smooth FM first at Smooth 91 FM. All right. Visit our website www.smooth91fm. YouTube /Smooth 981. What else? The phone numbers, of course. WhatsApp 0809 444 0981. Give that number to your mom. Give it to your dad. Give it to your brothers and sisters, your colleagues, your friends, perfect strangers on the streets. Tell them to tune into this show and express themselves. So we're about to express ourselves on these right-of-way charges. The Ministry of Communications, and they've added a new name. Is it, what's the new ministry name now? There's one Ministry of Data or something. Anyway, they essentially want to expand broadband across the country. They had meetings with quote-unquote stakeholders. The National Economic Council, that is headed by our dear Vice President Osibanjo, came to the agreement that right-of-way charges will be what, 145 naira per linear meter or so, yeah? Funny enough, that 145 is the same price as fuel. I hope that wasn't somebody that just woke up one morning. Yeah. Well, okay, fine. Anyway, Lagos, the headline here is that 14 states decided to increase the right-of-way charges, 14 or 12 to 14, including Lagos. And the Minister of Communications came out and said, why are you doing this? We had a plan. We're trying to expand broadband to give internet access to Nigerians everywhere. We plan to spend, 260-something billion naira to spread broadband. Is it over the next 4 years? I believe that's how much he said they want to spend, 265 billion or so. And you wake up and you've increased right-of-way charges. Why? Why?
Okay, so
that's like that meme, that pastor where he says, why? What's going on?
Okay, so I think that Nigeria needs to determine its own system of governance. It's a federal structure. How much power does every state have to control what happens within the state?
Yeah.
Can the federal council just give instructions to states and then expect the states to just follow, right? So I think that's a big question that we need to answer about the structure of the country in the first place. However, for states that feel that yes, their state is more valuable than some other states, they can of course increase their broadband, their right of way, the cost of their right of way, because they feel you have to be here anyway. So I think that for me is the thing. So you can't sit down somewhere in Abuja and give instructions to people in Lagos, or people just scream instructions at Kano State people, because they said no. In our own state, if you think that the price of 1 kilometer is in Lagos or in Kano is the same as price of 1 kilometer in Kebbi, you must be joking.
Okay, so the prices are different.
Prices are different, of course. So I think that for me is the biggest thing. So the states should be allowed to determine how much it costs them.
But you have argued on this show in the past that right-of-way charges are too high. So see, let me give people an example here. Lagos, under Fashola, it was, how much was it now? Yes, it was 500 naira per linear meter. Under Akiwumi Ambode, it was increased by over 800% to 3,000 naira per linear meter. And now under Governor Sanwo-Olu, it has now been increased to 5,000 naira per linear meter. How do you expect any of these companies to lay broadband cables across the country if the states keep increasing the cost?
Okay, so I have to correct you. I'm not sure I've argued.
You have. I have the tape. I'll play the tape.
Please play the tape.
I'll find the tape.
What I will always say is that market should determine. So it means that if I want to set to lay fiber, across Lagos, and it costs me this, nobody should set my price of data. So it means that I would factor in the cost to my own data operation.
But you're talking from the operator's perspective.
That's from the operator's perspective.
No, but this is the states now.
Exactly. So if the state, my state is more valuable, so I should be able to determine the price. So I'm always for free markets.
Wait, no. This is no.
So the state is saying that the cost of 1 linear meter in my state cannot be compared.
How is the state determining that? No, Fisal, this is wrong.
That's why they increase their price.
Oh, by the way, Tokwe, thank you. Tokwe says is the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy. Thank you, Tokwe. Again, what's up, man? Shout out to our people that help us out and correct us. This is
no. The point here is that the state should have every right to determine what goes on within their state.
Okay, but
so the cost of right of way for every state should be determined by them, not by someone sitting in Abuja. That's
okay, fine. But do you agree that look at what this example I've given, from 500 naira under Fashola to 5,000 naira under Sonwolu? Does that make any sense?
What was fuel cost under Fashola? I'm just saying that inflation affects everything. The value of everything to have increased.
Okay, so then then that means no broadband internet for Nigerians. Then forget everything.
So that's what happens. So it means that the operators will determine what state do I prioritize. So they'll make decisions based on that.
Right. But you deal with, you know what we'll do? We'll probably have to who are the 5? They mentioned, this Business Day article mentioned the 5 players. Main 1, SAT3, Glow, a couple other people. We'll probably have to get one of them on this show, and so that the operators themselves can tell. Because honestly, I think the states are jacking these guys so they can collect money from them. We know the state. Okay, so if you know that, why you're not arguing that the states can determine it now?
Yes, I mean,
wait, are you saying this is fair or not?
No. This is a business show, right? It's not about fairness or equity
so what are you saying?
You have to make business decisions.
Yes,
so if the state sees that my state is more valuable, it's about value. Okay, so if I'm increasing my price because it's valuable. So imagine a state like Taraba. So they want to increase their price. So it means that if I as main one feels that Taraba increasing their price, it's just too expensive, I won't deploy broadband there. So be it, I won't. But if Lagos is increasing their price and I feel, Lagos people are able to pay for my service, I'll do it anyway and then charge the citizens for it. That's fine. What happens.
Fantastic. But what I am arguing is that the people of Taraba also deserve to have internet. So
unfortunately, their governor has taken the right away from them. So
this is where the minister and the federal. You see, this is the only place where I argue in favor of government control of prices.
So you're saying that the minister should determine the price?
Not that the minister should determine the price.
Of course, the minister for housing should determine the rent I pay in Lagos as well.
No.
Exactly. So why should the minister determine the price of right of way in Lagos?
Because my argument is that they are extorting higher prices from this.
I'm being extorted by my landlord in my house as well. Let the Minister of Housing determine the price of my rent.
Okay, you know what? Let's just move on because I'm not going to.
I mean, because of course, I can't be paying this much in Lagos. Okay. When Taraba is there for me to leave.
So that means people in Taraba, if the state governor makes it too expensive, they will not get internet.
If the state government makes it too expensive and the operators feel that yes, there's no way I'm going to deploy infrastructure in this state, then I won't.
Then who will now come and intercede on behalf of the people of Taraba?
Well, they voted the governor, right? So they can make a decision next time.
Have just been,
of course, that's what happens.
You are being extremely mean this morning. But
it's not being mean. You don't forget. Rent in Lagos is expensive.
I know about the rent. We talked about rent this week.
Exactly. Right. So why can the minister determine the price of rent in Lagos?
No, the rent, you're taking us away from the rent. The issue with rent was that there should be monthly rent. That was what we're arguing about on the show.
Okay, what you did.
Yeah. But anyway, look. Okay. Let's go back. All right. Andy? I believe federal government should determine price if it's on a federal road, and states should determine price if it's on a state road. Good morning. Good morning to you, Andy. Benga Akamu. Federal government and the states are not on the same page when it comes to levies, and that affects everything. An average business owner pays hundreds of levies. There's no ease of business anyway. This is what I'm telling you. Somebody has to step in and say, hey, look, you are overcharging people for this.
Who is being overcharged?
The states now. It is the states that will determine all these things. Anyway, all right. Shola says, in as much as states' prices vary, why can't these states be tiered and price bands allocated based on tiering? Okay, so he's talking about a tiered system at different levels. Dio says, good morning. He's supporting you. Dio says, Fisayo is right. That's true federalism. Each state is in charge of its own economy. Dio from Surulere.
Correct.
But Dio, is it all right, let me leave that alone. Blessing. From 145, they should fear God. Let's see here. Sheon. Okay, Minister of Digital Economy, from ridiculousness onto ridiculousness. That's from Sheon. Yinkus, good morning, guys. I was at the stakeholder conference held by La Simra this past Tuesday. Governor Sonwolu was briefly present. The new GMC of the agency says the right of way charge increase by Lagos has come to stay. We asked him if the state would provide security cover and protection from Omoniles. He said that we will go and factor that into our business. What? He said that we should go and factor that into our business model. Everyone was left with their jaws gaping. There is no ease of doing business in this country. Regards, Yinkus. My goodness. Well, that's what OPE did when they signed with NURTW, have you?
Yeah, but it doesn't. I mean, it didn't change anything eventually. But
Modupe says, Rotus, don't be sentimental about this. Fisayo is spot on. That's how a capital market works. It is fair. So long as we're not running a socialist state, the government has no business here. We need to decide if we want to run a capitalist market or a socialist market.
Exactly.
So you want...
For me, that's the decision we need to make.
So
in this country, are you a socialist economy or capitalist?
So
if it's capitalist, it means price movement is determined by the market, not by someone sitting in Abuja determining the price for everybody across the country.
Which means the flip side of that coin is that the states can gouge the players that are trying to provide services. They can gouge them with high fees, and the players will now pass those fees on to...
Of course.
Okay, well, you know what? We'll just agree to disagree.
And then if the people feel that, okay, this thing is too much, they won't buy, and everybody loses.
But internet
that's
is...
what happens.
Do you believe that internet is the right of a human being?
How can it be right of a
No,
human being?
do you know? I believe it is. No, honestly, I'm telling you. Wait, can you...
The only thing you have right to is air. Nothing. That is not your right.
Where we are today.
Of course, housing is my right.
Housing is a right.
Oh, okay, it is.
Yes.
Oh.
That's now affordable housing now.
It is a right.
What I'm saying is that where we are now in this technologically advanced world, we're getting to a place where governments have to make internet. Next story. Well, I've wasted time on this thing. All right, let's move on. Airtel is providing. They're going into mobile television. Yeah. In fact, you're an Airtel customer, so you can probably tell us more about this. What's happening here? It looks like they're going into streaming services.
Yeah, they launched a video on demand platform.
Okay.
What I found interesting about the platform is that when I download the app, they send me a text and say, yeah, you can download this thing. So I download the app on my phone. So I was using the Wi-Fi in my house.
Yes.
And I tried to stream the video using the Wi-Fi in my house, but I was not allowed to say that I'll have to use my Airtel data. Yeah, so it means that I've bought data.
Yes.
Like, okay, this boy seems to not be using his data properly. So let's give him video so that I can watch.
Yeah, so you're saying that you have to use your Airtel data
you have to use your Airtel data to be able to have access to the video content.
Service.
Yes. So I try to look through what the quality of the content is. If there's some live TV there, there's some Netflix type content in there. Some very, very, very ridiculously old movies.
They have to pay for the right to be ahead.
Exactly. So so that's, and if they're giving it to you for free, technically, because you're not paying, but you're only paying Airtel for data. So it means that so it's what they have to do to ensure that you consume your data properly. So for me, I think it's just what it is. So people, I believe. Different people have different tastes when it comes to content. So I think for some people it's content that they will like. For some people they probably would maybe subscribe to another service when they pay monthly fees to access content rather than the free Airtel content. So just choice, people's choice.
Interesting. Sorry, Yinka said, Rotus, please read out the states. Okay, the states that increase right of way, although business they listed 12, not 14, but Lagos, Kano, Ondo, Cross River, Adamawa, Oshun, Kaduna, Enugu, Ebonyi, Imo, Kebbi, and Gombe. I believe that's 12. Yeah, it's just 12 out of 14. So those are the states. One more time. The states that have increased right of way charges: Lagos, Kano, Ondo, Cross River, Adamawa, Oshun, Kaduna, Enugu, Ebonyi, Imo, Kebbi, and Gombe. All right, so what do you think about the future of streaming services? I think Arise TV is also going into that as well. Different players are going into it. So is this something that is going to challenge the establishments, the cable TV operators or operator? There's only one, but what do you think?
Yeah, so I think that again it has to do with choice, right? So people, on-demand video streaming will not work if there is no proper broadband internet service.
Okay.
Right. So irrespective of how hard you try to get people to pay for streaming or to stream their content, if data is not affordable, if data is not affordable, if data service is not great, if broadband penetration is not high enough, then a lot of people.
If broadband penetration is not high enough, Okay, I'm glad you mentioned it. No, but continue.
But I never said they should give that for free.
I didn't say free either, but carry on.
So if broadband penetration is not high enough, then it means that video contents would would not be popular as well. So I think it's just the cause and effect. So it might not necessarily affect the cable TV, because I mean it's about content, about what you choose, so all of that.
Gotcha. Okay, good stuff. Dikpo says, I think this aggressive tax economy is always at the disadvantage to the state eventually. Is the state considering the economic benefits and job employment opportunities of increasing broadband service? He's against you. He's actually supporting you.
No, he's not.
No, he is. He said, if you increase such levies, you increase the operation cost for the broadband providers. The broadband providers include that to their pricing, limiting the number of people who have access to broadband services. So he's saying that the state should not be increasing prices, and that's what Dikpo is saying.
He's saying that this is the effect of the state increasing prices.
But his message said, which is at the disadvantage of the states eventually.
No,
it's at the disadvantage of the states because they'll now pass.
The state has made this money.
Okay, you know what? How much time do we have, Ayo? We want 1 minute left. All right, let me quickly. What was this?
Fintech lending war. I'm not sure we can have them.
You have 60 seconds, very quickly. The GT cutting down their. Ayo, are you going to? Oh, goodness gracious. We argue too much. Fisayo, thanks for arguing with me about right of way charges. Lagos, thank you for your messages. Ayo is threatening to cut my microphone off. I appreciate you guys tuning into Business Express. We'll continue the conversation next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Stay tuned to Smooth 98.1 FM.
Thank you very much.